All right. So I checked out the last video. It works out okay. That is a really cool infinity effect. I'm way too easily entertained with that. I could just sit here and make really funky video. Okay, I'm done. Sorry, that's kind of cool. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close that so we don't have to see myself that many times. We're gonna jump over to our graphs. So this is what we're gonna be dealing with again. We've got one more transformation that we didn't talk about in our last video. So we've done amplitude, vertical shift, and period change. What we're gonna look at today is a phase shift. So instead of moving up and down, we're actually gonna take our graph and move them left and right. So you've seen this before in other functions, whether it was our log functions or our rational functions. How do we move our graph left and right? Here, if we have a negative c, that tells me my function is gonna go ahead and move to the right direction. Remember, when we're in the parentheses, we're always gonna go opposite. So if it says plus c, we're gonna move to the left. Plain and simple, okay? Nothing too fancy, nothing too intense there. So here, I have an example. I have the sine of theta minus 4 pi over 3. So this is gonna tell me my graph is gonna move to the right 4 pi over 3 radians. So I've already got sine up on our graph here, and so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move it, sine of x minus, and I said that was 4 pi over 3. Whoops, there we go. So all we've done, that's kind of cool DNA looking, I've taken my sine graph right here, and I've moved it to the left. So we can see this peak moved to the left. This starting point, our midline, moved to the left, 4 pi over 3. That's all it is. So my second one here, I have my cosine. Wait a second. Shooty patootie. I just said that moves left. It's not moving left, guys. It's moving right. But because of the way the trig works and it's so cyclical, it's kind of strange to see that. Our movement is actually this direction. So from the black, I'm moving here. We're moving to the right, 4 pi over 3. If I were to click on that node, not that you could really see it from your computer, but we're gonna see that 4 pi over 3 right here. It's a big move, so we see it shift pretty significantly. That was my bad for a second. We definitely moved to the right because of the minus 4 pi over 3. Sorry about that. With the cosine here, we're gonna be moving to the left, 5 pi over 6. So I'm gonna get our visual up here. So I'm gonna have my cosine of x, and we're now gonna have the cosine of x plus 5 pi over 6. Okay, so again, we got a pretty cool DNA thing here. Our blue graph is our original, and now we're taking that peak and moving it backwards, 5 pi over 6, so almost a full pi there, because pi is about 3.14, right? So we've almost moved it back. If we were to click on that node, we'd be able to see the negative 5 pi over 6. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera. It's a little small. I don't even think zooming in will help us there. But that's how we just move our left and right. This left and right movement gets a little bit more complex when we combine it with a period change. So our equations are going to be presented like this, where I'm going to see my period change is going to go from 2 pi to 2 pi over 4, so pi over 2. But it looks like I'm shifting to the left 2 pi, but I'm not. What I have to do is I have to rewrite this equation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to factor the 4 off of my theta. And when I factor that 4 off, that means 4 theta divided by 4. So I get theta. I'm also going to divide my 2 pi by 4, which is going to give me a pi over 2. So what's really happening here is my period is now pi over 2, because 2 pi over 4 is pi over 2, and I'm going to see a shift to the left, pi over 2. Does that make sense? Same thing would happen here with my sine wave, except for now there's a 1/2 attached to my theta. So when I factor that out, factor out that 1/2, dividing by 1/2 is the same as timesing by 2. So that's going to leave me with theta, and I'm going to times pi over 6 by 2, which will give me pi over 3. So now I see my period here is going to be 4 pi, and my phase shift is going to be to the right, pi over 3. Make sense? Okay, I've got some practice up for you to do that. Check back for our next video. We're actually going to practice sketching these by hand. Okay, good luck, and thanks for putting up with this new video presentation and all of the annoying Miss Nelsons. Thanks, guys.